Hey, this is Patra recording, and we have Brittany and Vic and our speaker for the day.
Hello, my name is Ariana Roberts, and my presentation will be on Confucianism. Confucianism was developed and was first discovered in 551 to 479 BCE, and the founder was Confucius, who was a Chinese philosopher. And yeah, he grew up in poverty, and after he was born, his dad died directly after, so he kind of had to assume the role of the main male in his house. So while he was growing up, he was impoverished, and his family didn't have a lot. Yeah. But as he grew older, he became a Chinese informant because there was an era of disunity before the era of autumn and spring. And within that era of disunity, there was a lot of wars between the dynasties of China and throughout Asia. So he became a Chinese informant, but at 30, he figured out that he wasn't really that great at that because it was like being a spy. But he wasn't that great at being a spy. So when he became 30, he became a teacher, and he created the doctrine of Confucianism. And it meshes political theory and human nature together, and it creates a coinciding sort of philosophy that people live by and that governments use. So, and the book of Confucianism is called The Analects, and they're actually aphorisms that he said. There wasn't like a scripture specific book. It was just things that he had said throughout his life, and that his disciples, who were the people who followed him, wrote it down, and that's what the Analects are. They're just simply short sayings that he said throughout his life. The whole gamut of Confucianism is primarily based on political authority, and within that political authority, people have to adapt to social rituals in order to ascend to a higher social level. It's all about social order and how social order leads to humanity, which is the Jin. As people grow within their spiritual and social rituals, they ascend to that higher level, and the people who have assumed the highest level of humanity are called sages. And the people who want to ascend, or their pupils, they look up to the sages so they can also maintain and sustain that higher level of Jin, which means humanity. Did I skip a slide? Okay. Confucianism and politics. Like I said, the spring and autumn period was the period of prosperity after the period of disunity. And that was a really big transition because everybody was doing well, and warfare had subsided between dynasties, and things were going great for everyone. And this doctrine allowed people to have a specific social order to live by. Like, the doctrine was something that people tried to achieve. It was a standard that was set for people in their minds, and they wanted to achieve it so they could become greater people and contribute to society in a better way. That's why it's a socio-political movement, because they use politics in order to create a social pool, or a social change, evolution, if you will. And it influenced the structure of government in East Asia, like in Korea and in China and in Japan. There were specific dynasties that developed around Confucianism, so it was interesting. Confucianism in the Han Dynasty, this was sort of like the spark